Sitting in my mobile coffee shop,
making videos about my transvestite children for TikTok.
I have another jingle on here. I don't remember what this is. Let's see.
Who are these woke people?
All right.
Who are these woke people?
Our first batch of AI jingles had a lot of Christmas music for some reason.
You'll be hearing that again in December, folks.
Yes, that's what we'll bring that back. Good call. All right. So this is very interesting. I did a couple of Woke Dad clips on Drew's show this week, and I didn't pull this one because we don't get as deep into the Woke Dad lore on his show, or lore, I should say, on his show.
Yeah.
But this is very interesting because, as we know, Woke Dad is excommunicated parts of his family, including his own parents.
Oh, so by the way, I scrolled by a video in one of my long searches for old videos.
Mm-hmm.
I believe his father is no longer with us, unfortunately.
Oh.
So I think it's his mother and other family members that he is.
Okay.
So it's good that his widowed mother is the one.
Right. Don't support her at all.
Yeah.
Just stop talking to her
Yeah,
and make sure she can't see the grandkids.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a message directly to her, then, I think.
If you are the parent to an adult child or adult children who have gone no contact for what you keep considering to be no reason, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you are the reason. Your actions or your words.
Fuck you, Mom.
Is this crazy? He's revealing so much.
That he thinks of himself as an adult child, whatever that means.
Well, that's part of it, yes. No, but the idea that his mom's going, I don't know why we can't communicate with you anymore. I don't know what we did to you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry I voted for Trump. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, I'm sure, my guess is she's probably a lady that can't not talk about it either. Like when he goes on one of his rants, I'm sure she's like, this is what you people do, you know? Like I'm sure she's goaded him a little bit. But like to cut them off entirely instead of just have some kind of debate or be like, hey, we can't talk politics around each other.
Just a truce. Just be like, yeah, let's not talk politics. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I guarantee this guy's lecturing everyone all the time.
You think?
Yeah,
What's giving you that idea?
It's probably pretty hard to not talk politics around the Thanksgiving table.
Your actions or your words have hurt them in a way that they can't see past. And it wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just that one thing. It was many things. It isn't just about politics. It was a lot of things that led up to this. Your values may be different. Your actions and words may hurt them or hurt.
That's interesting. So it wasn't just politics. So like right here, and I'm reading into this, obviously, but right here he's saying it's not just because you voted for Trump. Yeah, I'm also mad at you for other reasons.
Right, because you wouldn't let me go out. You took my car keys that weekend, and I really wanted to hang out with my friends.
I was going to go on a date with Sally, and you fucked it all up for me, Mom.
I think you meant Sal, but yeah.
He was a Sally, though.
Your actions and words may hurt them or hurt others or hurt people they care about.
This whole thing that words can hurt him, so pathetic.
They're very painful words.
No, they're not. I guarantee you they're not.
Whatever it is, though, if you want to be a part of their life, you need to stop those actions. You need to take responsibility for them. You need to genuinely apologize, and not the type of apology that starts with, I love you, but the type of apology that's, I love you, and I'm working on this. I care about you enough.
Oh, hey, you know what?
A priority.
Yeah, so go do it, Dan. Go for it.
Oh,
go do that to your mom.
These are rules for thee, not for me.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. The mom's supposed to do it.
He's literally saying you have to change who you are for me if you want to talk to your grandkids.
Oh, okay. I was under the impression Daniel was waking up and saying,
no.
Hey, maybe I should apologize to my mom, the woman who raised me.
No, he's saying just the opposite. He's saying not only do you have to change who you are fundamentally as a person so I can get along with you, but you have to give me a heartfelt apology for the actions that you've taken voting for Trump in the past that offended me.
This is what like a teenage girl was doing in 2016, like the first time Trump ran. If she had a Republican father, I'm not talking to you, Dad, until you apologize for what you've done. Like Daniel's a 40-something-year-old man having this argument with his mommy on TikTok.
Is he though? This is wild that he's putting out this video pretending like this is just a public service announcement for a lot of
This is
people.
for
who are
all
going
of
through
us.
this.
Yeah, this will benefit all of us.
This is just to your family members specifically.
Yeah.
That I seek change so that you can still be in my life. It's the best you can do.
Let me back that up a little bit, because he literally says, you need to change if you want me to be in your life.
That I seek change so that you can still be in my life. It's the best you can do. And I think your kids are worth it.
Wow. Wouldn't it be great if mom's response is, actually Christmas is way better without you. It's so carefree and no one's worried about saying the wrong thing and getting lectured.
Oh, I would love a unwoke mom TikTok account.
Unwoke grandma. That'd be amazing. I think woke.dad is going to get on that.
Good, yeah. Tell her about this. But by the way, this is a message to her that I'm sure she doesn't know about.
Right.
Unless he's sending it to her. I'm sure this lady's not on
That's
TikTok.
possible.
I wonder what my son is up to.
Well, that's interesting, because I just remembered Dan explained why he started a TikTok in the first place. And it was to communicate to his 2 children specifically, because he didn't see them because, obviously he's divorced. And
they're with that monster.
They're with that narcissistic
All these women,
monster.
it's weird. All these women in his life are such terrors.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's interesting.
But he started a TikTok for an audience of 2.
Yeah.
So this is not a new phenomenon with him, where he's going to social media and putting out a post publicly that is meant for 1 or 2 people who are in his immediate family.
Oh, the other 140,000 of you followers are watching this? This is just for my kids. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were
ignore
there.
this one.
Yeah.
My bad. All right. So obviously last week we played Dan asking for money so that he could give coffee to the food bank drive.
Mm-hmm.
But then he also, the next day, came out and said, I also need money so that I can get coloring books and crayons for the children of these people who are going to the food bank.
Things cost money. You know who to thank for that.
So he needed a lot of money for multiple reasons last week.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to say that he came back this week to give us a status report, a little update on that.
People don't wait in line at a food bank for 2 hours for a quarter cart of groceries because they're trying to cheat the system, like they have their hand out. They do it because they need those groceries to be able to survive. And
who's he arguing with? Was anyone going, these are all rich millionaires lining up for this free food? What the fuck?
Bullshit. They can all afford it.
Why are all these bankers lining up for this free food, Dan?
Fat cats.
Yeah, who's he arguing with on this? Like, no, we know it's a charitable organization. We're fine with it. No one's complaining about a food bank. Jesus. Fucking weirdo.
I reached out asking you guys for help last week, and this week I was able to give 30 cups of coffee to people waiting in line.
Okay.
Wow.
30 cups of coffee. Now, so he needed people to donate money to him so that he could give out 30 cups of coffee. He's very proud of this. He's coming back and saying how much of a success this was.
Mm-hmm.
What could it cost him to make a cup of coffee? Less than $1. Have to be.
Definitely, I would think. Yeah, if he's buying in bulk and everything, yeah.
Let's pretend it's 50 cents. He says that there's inflation and everything's going up. It's not, but let's pretend it's 50 cents. That means he raised $15.
I bet some of these greedy fucks had milk or cream in there, though. You're not adding that in.
Okay. So 50 cents a cup, like I said, $15. And he's bragging about this. Guys, can you believe it? I give out 30 cups of coffee.
It's pretty impressive.
I mean, I worked for a company that literally supplied coffee for the entire company.
Well, he's just a mom and pop. He's just a pop, I guess.
I guess I just don't put a huge value on coffee.
Well, that's the interesting part to me is not even so much the cost of it. It's that he didn't nourish these homeless people in any way.
Right, yeah. Here's some
coffee.
caffeine.
They're still starving.
Yeah. Yeah, these people who are running their cars and burning gasoline while they're waiting to get this free food.
And
He's
actually,
not just like, here's a gas card. He's not saying that. Here's a cup of coffee.
Coffee dehydrates you. So now they need more water than they needed before.
Yeah.
People waiting to get some food, a little bit of joy for them. And today I'm still working on gift bags that I'm going to give to that same food bank. They're going to hand out to local kids. And those gift bags are going to have coloring books and crayons and little toys and stuff. And thanks to you guys and all the items that you've ordered off the wish list, I get to make some of those kids so freaking happy.
Okay, I got to pause it again. I apologize. So he has this Amazon wish list, and you can go on there and you can buy things, and then he takes those items, puts them in bags, and gives them to children. Mike, I remember being of the age when I had crayons and a coloring book. Vaguely, but I remember it.
Good.
It didn't change my day. I wouldn't be like, oh, I have a coloring book today and I can color in it. This is an activity that children do to kill time.
But I assume, despite the facade you put on, I bet you were a pretty good kid. I'm sure, at least when your mother handed you the coloring book and crayons, you said, Mom, what hero can I thank for these items? What brave superhero gave you these?
No, I looked and saw there was 50 cents for the coloring book and $1.20 for the crayons, and I went, thanks. It's free. It never made my day. It never changed the course of my day having a coloring book.
Oh, Daniel Alexander's the best, Mom. Thanks. Tell him thanks.
Times are getting tough for a lot of people. Times are getting very tough. And I am so...
There are children without coloring books as we speak. Palestine, Schmalestine.
It's an epidemic. I want a coloring book in every hand.
There are kids with only 3 shades of blue. Can you believe that?
Much like that lady we were talking about before, he's not solving a real problem.
No.
Why isn't he feeding these starving
Not
people?
even close. He's making other people buy coloring books and crayons so that he can hand them out to children who may or may not want that.
These people are in line at a food bank. He's giving them coffee and coloring books.
Little Debbie stacks would be better.
I'll get to the coloring book once I eat. I'm still very hungry.
Yeah, right. No shit.
Forever thankful that I get to be the conduit for your kindness.
Mm-hmm.
So from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Oh, that's nice. We're the heroes, it turns out.
This is like
That's a nice
Stolen
little
Valor. Is this a version of Stolen Valor that we're looking at right here?
How do you mean?
So Dan says, guys, give me money so I can give the money to this charity.
Yeah.
People give him money and he goes, holy shit, the charity is so impressed with me. I fucking crushed it. They were applauding me. I was up on their shoulders. They threw a parade for me. They're like, yeah, but Dan, what the fuck?
It's fine. It's fine. I put it in your names, guys. Don't worry about it.
He doesn't even do that. So Teresa Tree on my house in our Discord gave me an update with a link to the Amazon wish list. He has removed the iPads from the wish list. I guess he got a little bit too much feedback.
He probably got all of them. He probably is chock full of iPads.
Right? I doubt it. He wanted 5 $600 iPads, and then the stylus pencil that comes extra for a couple $100 as well.
Yeah, that was probably a faux pas on Daniel's part when he was saying these are all underprivileged kids. I need 50 iPads for the art studio.
Yeah. I don't know if you know trans kids, but they have very few iPads. They really need iPads, these trans kids.
Well, you know what? I don't know. I'm sure we have at some point, but that just dawned on me about the art studio. They're not even underprivileged kids. They're just like black or trans.
Oh, no, but in his mind, though.
Automatically.
Right.
Yeah. Like they could be well-off black kids.
Yes.
Or trans kids that are in his art studio.
No shit. But they're vulnerable, Mike.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's very
vulnerable
it's very difficult
to podcasters,
right?
If us podcasters got our hands on them, oh boy, would it be a problem?
Meanwhile, if white me tries to stumble in there, I'll be getting
get the fuck out of here. So this is crazy. Dan is now transitioning full on into queer kid stuff.
Oh.
He has purchased one. If you remember when we've covered queer kid stuff on WATP in the past, maybe on this show, it's incredible because they have this little plush doll, and this non-binary person, and they read these books that are made for pre-K children with lots of big pictures and few words.
Yeah. The problem is, though, they're not radical enough for Dan. I think they're not extreme enough for Daniel.
So Dan has purchased one of these books and is going to read it to us on his TikTok.
Oh, good.
Every time I make a video about consent, a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of dudes jump into my comment section and tell me...
I'm sorry.
that consent...
Just the first few words. Every time I make a video about consent, why are you making so many videos about consent? Who's asking for this?
And then he says a bunch of guys jump into his comment section.
Yeah.
Which he must spend a lot of time deleting comments. I was talking about this with Drew.
Oh, because they're never in there?
No, every comment is glowing.
Yeah.
Every comment in his section is about how amazing he is. In fact, this video specifically, it has almost 6,000 likes. This one has a ton, 379 comments on this video, which is unheard of for Woke Dad. This is a big one for him.
You would think hateful comments would be good for his brand in a way. Because he could show and be like, hey, see all the hatred that's out there in the world?
Well, he does put them up on the screen for a future TikTok video, but he deletes them.
He does do that.
But he does take advantage of that. I heard the great Aaron Imholt, one of the greatest broadcasters of our time, talk about how he's not banning people as much anymore. He's told his mods not to ban people as much anymore because the people who do say disparaging things, that's good for the true believers, the true fans to see what idiots they are.
It's true, I guess.
I think Dan is the same thing. It's just like, look at all these bigots who don't want to be talking about consent.
It would really help Dan. Yeah, I think with Aaron, it might just expose the truth. But
yeah. Well, we don't have to get into that right now. Let's back this up.
Every time I make a video about consent, a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of dudes jump into my comment section and tell me that consent is not for children, that people shouldn't learn about consent until they become an adult.
I don't think that's what they're
just
saying.
because of that, I ordered something. It just got here.
He's confused. We'll get into that. Let's see what he's got for us here.
And I'm about to share it with you. This is so exciting. It's the ABCs of consent. A is for ask, so respect me, please. I have a voice to respond and the choice to agree.
He's literally reading a children's book to us.
B is for be quiet.
Also, what's annoying about this is that he's mirrored on TikTok. So he's reading this book to us and it's all backwards. Which is not helpful at all, but thanks, Dan.
B is for body. It belongs to me, and I must always be treated with dignity.
Why are we
C
talking
is for
about children's
consent.
bodies?
Right. I think that's ultimately what Daniel's not understanding is no one is saying that children shouldn't be allowed to consent to things.
No one's saying that. In fact, what I think is happening here is he's confusing when people talk about, well, children can't consent to an intimate situation. So that's...
Or consent to chopping off a body part or something like that.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think a lot of times when we talk about consent and you talk about predators and adults and children, and you go, yeah, but this is my girlfriend. It's like, yeah, but your 14-year-old girlfriend can't consent to this according to the law.
I find
That's
it
what people
hard.
are saying.
I find it hard to believe that all the comments Dan is getting is, hey, when it comes to children, no means yes.
Right,
These
yeah,
kids,
it doesn't matter what they say. Have your way with them.
they want it whether they know it or not.
He is so stupid that instead, the way that he's fighting back against the haters is to buy a book about consent for children and read it to us, as if we're all going to be like, ah, he got us there. I guess, boy, do we look dumb with egg on our face.
C is for cunt, which all the comments seem to think I am.
With dignity. C is
C's for cock.
for consent. I say yes or no.
That
If
seems a
that
little
cannot
lazy
be
by the author.
respected, you have got to go. This is a wonderful book and
Is it?
some very incredible.
I haven't gotten to
artwork
D
this week.
yet, but boy, am I excited.
D is for don't buy this book. What were you thinking?
In it, and anyone can be taught about really big topics in an age-appropriate manner. So if you have littles, I'm going to encourage you to buy this book.
Littles.
I bought it myself. It wasn't given to me, but I'm going to show you where to get it.
Oh, my God. Oh, no one gave you the ABCs of consent, Dan? Someone didn't gift that one to you?
Hey, I bought it. I'm practicing what I preach here. I put my hard-earned money behind this book.
You can't buy a cup of coffee for a homeless guy, but you could buy the ABCs of consent.
Their food money went to the consent book. What do you want from me?
That guy, Record Lover, in the Discord, he's all over this stuff. He follows it very closely, and I have some interesting stuff that I want to show you. But he was talking about how Dan runs this mobile coffee shop from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. Mm-hmm. How much money could he possibly be bringing in?
Working I guess I never realized that he closed at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's 4 hours a week, or 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, selling coffee.
Yeah. And
he might be poor.
He's gotten pretty light on the interactions lately, so it seems like business might be down. He's alienated all his Republican customers.
Well, also it's summertime, and maybe you don't want a hot drink as much as you do in the winter. I don't know.
It's almost summertime. Like, it's not quite.
Yeah, that's true.
Followed him through the winter months here.
That's true. That's true. All right, let's get into some vintage Dan. This is from December of 2022, before he became the woke dad that we all know and love.
What if I told you that by watching this video all the way to the end, you could help to save a life? And
hurry up!
Then I will watch this video all the way to the end because I want to help to
end
save
it quick!
a life. Let's go.
To save a life. And not just any life, but the life of a kid, an adolescent, a teen. Would you be willing to stick it out?
I know what kids are.
See this through? I really hope so.
What do you mean by, a baby goat?
Define what you mean by kid. Adolescent or a teenager? Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Okay, good. Carry on.
Listen, I've been tricked by a bunch of videos that are trying to save goats. And this will be the last one, Buster.
Yeah, if I have to put my Amex number into another thing, it's just helping out baby goats.
This story all started a few days ago when I finally decided that I was going to write a book. And it's something I've been thinking about for a long time. Well, if you know anything about me, you know that I am the father to the most incredible transgender son. And I know I'm biased, but he really is incredible.
And my daughter, whatever. But my transgender son, holy shit. That bee's knees, that one.
I like anyone that Daniel meets, he has to be like, so is your kid like the second most incredible transgender kid? Or
yeah, because I got number one.
I got the best.
I got number one over here, so I guarantee yours is a distant second at that. What a crazy thing. So this is what we pointed out when we first started watching this guy.
Yeah.
Is that he would focus so much on his trans son, and he has 2 kids.
Right.
And all he would talk about is his trans son, and I went, the other kid must hate this.
Well, I think the other kid, doesn't he refer to the other kid now?
Well, then the other kid came out as gay.
Right, yeah.
So now he's got a gay daughter and a trans son because he had 2 daughters to start
Finally,
off with.
Dad will pay attention to me if I say I'm gay.
Right. I'm telling you, that's the phenomenon we're watching because he was focused so much on the trans son. This is like the other one's just like, and then we got a normie over here or whatever. Who gives a shit?
But we're missing a big part of this. I guess it's not an announcement because he just didn't do it. This is over 2 years ago. But he was going to write a book. I'd love to read that.
Yeah, he's writing a book, and he's got big, grandiose ideas for this book, too.
Over the last few years, we've had the opportunity to gain a lot of resources, gain a lot of friends, gain a big community, and learn a lot. And I figured that a lot of parents could benefit from what we've learned and some of the resources that we have, and therefore a lot of kids could benefit. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to share that.
Yeah, good.
I initially started by reaching out to some of my community members, some of my friends, some of the family that I've made over the last few years, and asking if they'd be willing to be a resource for the book. But I also wanted to donate a portion of the proceeds to the Rainbow Youth Project.
A portion of the proceeds? Dan, you haven't even written the book yet. You're already making a profit on it? Listen to this asshole. You're not going to make shit from your book. No one gives a fuck about it. And he's like, and by the way, I'm already donating proceeds to this charitable organization. This is one of these guys who takes credit for something he hasn't done yet. This is like Stuttering John watching my cats in Cape Coral all over again.
No, but you don't understand. In my fantasies, when I'm introducing Obama, the book is very successful. So
right, yes.
I'd be foolish not to take some of the proceeds for myself, of course.
Actually, Obama's interviewing me about the book in the arena tour.
Damn.
The Rainbow Youth Project is a 501(c) not-for-profit that helps to benefit LGBTQIA youth. They have all sorts of services and...
Hold on a second. I didn't even realize this. LGBTQIA youth.
Yeah.
The A stands for asexual. I would hope there's a lot of prepubescent youth that are the A. All of them.
No.
All of them should be the A.
No.
What the fuck?
Most of them are out there. Here's the dirty little secret you don't know. They're all out sucking and fucking.
But
Whether
Mike,
it's guys, gals, in the middle, whatever.
this is where this guy loses us. And I say this all the time. I have 2 trans people who've been on my show. One of them is a review girl. She's out every Wednesday. I have no problem with trans people at all. Right. It's the children that we just don't want getting mixed up into this. And when he says LGBTQIA youth, he doesn't even understand what he's saying. He doesn't even understand what he's talking about. He's just throwing out letters and acronyms and just like, this is a great cause. I don't know about that.
You think that asexual kids' sexuality doesn't matter?
I don't think you should be sexualizing children. Is that crazy?
Oh, you're one of these non-consent guys, I guess.
What the fuck is wrong with them?
They're just an incredible group of people.
Right. They're all amazing.
When I reached out, they told me about a need that they have, and this seems like a pretty serious need for me.
Okay.
They have a crisis intervention service, and it's desperately running out of funding. So they don't know.
We have a crisis. This 8-year-old's not sexual yet. This 8-year-old's asexual. We got to fix this.
Daniel, I'll tell you a real crisis. You haven't put pen to paper yet. Get writing.
Yeah, that is the
That's
problem.
what we need.
Going to be able to carry that service into 2023. Now, all of the people who work for the Rainbow Youth Project are all volunteers, so all of the money goes to the kids and to the programs. So how do we find them funding? How do we get them funding?
Right.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is, when that book is published, when I start to sell copies, a portion of every sale is going to go to the Rainbow Youth Project.
Hey, I got an idea. All these volunteers are working for free. Just write the book for free.
Yeah. Or you could also volunteer your time, Dan.
Well, that's what I mean. Writing the book is not costing you anything but your time, right?
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, maybe pay yourself back the publishing cost if that costs anything. But other than that, it should all go to the...
Or, all right, Mike, here's an idea.
Yeah.
Or he could write a book that people would actually want to purchase and read.
Yeah, maybe.
That would actually make more money than the bullshit that he's planning on writing.
You don't think people would buy the book of a guy who nobody knows being like, hey, kids should be allowed to consent? And you're like, okay, sure.
There's also something that I never do. I never pair with corporate entities ever because I don't do anything here for money. I do it to help people. And somebody reached out last week, and I think I'm going to reach back and see if we can start a fundraiser. It's actually not a corporate entity. It's a...
Just ignored them for a week?
Yeah, why did you set it up with, I don't work with corporate entities, but someone reached out. It's not a corporate entity. Okay.
Oh. Well, then, I guess that doesn't matter then.
Also, again, Dan just putting the cart before the horse. Like, why don't you get a partnership involved and then do a TikTok video about it? It's like Opie talking about his stupid podcast deal.
It reminded me a lot of all these guys where he has these I'm going to have a one-man show. I'm going to have a big radio job. Like, he just has these great ideas. And now we know we live in the future now. It just never happened.
Yep.
A small business, but a way in which we could do a fundraiser in a really effective way to benefit the community and benefit.
Oh man, and then we cure racism and homophobia, and then everyone's happy, and then I get elected president, and everyone says, Dan, you're a hero, and my book is the bestseller, and I'm the coolest guy, and I'm being interviewed by Oprah, and she thinks she's high-fiving me.
We changed Juneteenth to Dan Alexander Day. All right, maybe not June 19th. Hold on a second. Let me rethink that one.
Well, they're already synonymous. Most people honor him.
You're right. He's just talking about all of his fantasies.
Yeah.
He's a child. He's a child talking about how he's going to hit the home run in Game 7 of the World Series when he's an adult. Yeah. Like, I'm sure you will, Billy. That's amazing. That would be great.
And then President AOC is going to give me the Medal of Honor.
Okay. He's not that funny. Come on.
This project. The third thing I'm going to ask is I'm going to ask for you to reach out and show your love and support for the Rainbow Youth Project.
Always be fundraising. Very good.
Here. Whatever you can do will help. Mm-hmm. Whatever you can do will benefit kids, and whatever you do could help to save a life. Thank you.
When are we going to see these lives getting saved?
He's definitely fine-tuned his grift. Back then he's going, hey, guys, you should give money to this organization that's doing really good things. Now he goes, guys, give me money, and I'll make sure it goes to the right places.
You guys were sending money all over the place. It was going willy-nilly. I gotta streamline this thing.
Right. Now he's like, guys, give me the money so I can get art supplies and a kiln. That's why you need to give me money.
They actually told me they wanted me to handle the money. So it'd be easier if you just gave me the money.
No, you could give it to this organization that's set up to accept money and do good things in the community, or you can give it to me and I can give some cups of coffee out.
Yeah, the organization saw how responsible and awesome I am that they were like, Dan, what you take? We raise so much more money when you take the money. So I think that'd be best.
I just want to point out, he started this video by saying you could save a life if you watch this video.
That was the same video?
Yes. By him not writing this book, I think he's killed children. I think the blood is on his hands because he literally said, this is so important. We need to raise money for this organization. They're going to cut funding. And
There's no way most people got through that. How many kids
I'm going to write a book and the proceeds are going to go to this organization. It's going to save lives. And they never wrote the book. He didn't care about these lives.
Boy, that's a really good point. Watching the video could save a life. So much so that he didn't even have to read the book, maybe.
Right.
we did it.
This one came in from Sharon Peters in our Discord.
Oh.
And I think this is an oldie.
Sharon Peters. That's actually
Sharon Peters, yeah. Okay, man. Sharon Peters sent this in. I believe this is a woke.dad video.
Okay.
From it's an oldie but a goodie.
I had no idea this would make me so emotional, but it has. I think for anybody who knows me, I've been saving up all of my gifts for my life for an iPad for my daughter. And
okay.
More iPads.
Yes. So this is from a couple of years ago. And what he writes on the screen here is I was not going to post this.
Saving up all of my gifts for my life for an iPad.
But the truth is nothing could be more sincere. Okay.
Oh, good. Did we go through a time that I missed in this country where everyone thought iPads would
save lives?
Why was that always given as charitable donations?
You know what? I'm still wondering about that because I have an iPad. I watched the Cubs game on it. It's great, but it's never cured me of anything.
It's very weird.
iPad for my daughter, and she's an amazing young artist. She's 11 years old, and the wonders that she creates are just amazing. And because of all of the kindness of my friends here, she was able to get that. Now, I wasn't quite there, but I definitely made up the difference, and I couldn't help but give it to her.
Are you hearing this?
Yeah.
He needed his community, his TikTok followers, to give him money so that he could give a gift to his daughter.
The man already works 4 hours a day. Is that not enough?
This is a new low. And I'll just read to you what woke.dad wrote on the screen. He says, this absolute pile has been mooching and scamming for years. The people that donate to this fool have to be as brain dead as him, crying for pity as you get your kid an iPad makes you a thief, not a man. And we are on to you. Your scamming is coming to an end.
Well, I don't think I ever realized, maybe we've talked about it before, but I don't know that it ever really registered to me that he works 4 hours a day. I didn't realize he ended at 10 a.m. So I assume his wife is probably the breadwinner.
Yeah, she's like a therapist or something, right?
Yeah, I imagine she's supporting the family. And then Joe Matarese here is just left to his own devices for most of the day. And it just has all these projects. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to start an art studio. I'm going to make these T-shirts to go protesting.
You're right.
And then he has all these big dreams, and none of them really come to fruition.
He's the woke Joe Matarese.
Yes.
And I want to correct you on something. It's not his wife. It's his partner.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, ma'am.
Because remember,
human.
Remember when he said that he had a partner? One of those rednecks is just like, what are you, one of them queers or something? You got a partner?
Yeah. You mean to tell me you're gay?
Yeah, that was another one of those interactions he had. Anyway, let's finish this video up.
And because of the kindness of this community, she is creating absolute wonders.
He's pretending to be crying too. He's like squinting his eyes and trying to get tears going. It's like, oh my God, the fact that you guys bought my daughter an iPad has really changed the world for me. Was she playing Roblox? Who cares?
What is she doing with an iPad that she couldn't have done with like a regular computer that she had
Well,
before?
she's an artist and she's creating, Mike.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Not really. Absolute wonders.
To watch her draw is a miracle in its own. And to be able to support it as a father, it's life-changing.
I know you could have done that without our hard-earned money.
Yeah, you could have just gotten a job that pays you better, so that
not
you
even
could
that.
purchase gifts for
Get
your
her,
kids.
get her a pencil and paper.
Yeah.
She can draw all day.
Get her an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
It's a lost art.
She's not just a budding artist, she's a blooming artist.
Oh, he's like on the verge of tears during all of this. It's nuts. It's nuts. I have one more thing that I want to show you about Woke Dad that's been discovered through the Discord. But before we do that, I want to thank the fine people who are supporting this show.
Yay, super chats.
Including Anonymous on supertip.gg/WATP says, I bet I could buy 2 big jars of Nescafe, a 4-pound bag of sugar, and a gallon of milk, and I could make twice as much cups as Woke Dad. Coffee's not an expensive. I mean, it's expensive.
It
when you go to
certainly
Starbucks,
isn't. Yeah,
but it's not
right.
it's
If
a
you're
commodity.
if you're going to Starbucks and buying 30 coffees, that could be a little pricey. But
Right.
Daniel has the products; he's buying in bulk.
Right. We make coffee at home. It's very inexpensive.
Yes.
Drunkle Greg, $5 says, stoked to hear this tomorrow. Oh yeah, that was that one we played. Jay
thanks
Loiter, $5. Mike, how many weeks before Adam Bush replaces on WATS and the Blind Mike project?
Oh, Adam, that guy. I didn't care for him going after my buddy Tom Myers. I took him to task on my program.
Interesting. Adam was working with Tom a lot today to try to set up an interview.
I was going to say, I hear they're going at it again, these two.
We'll see.
Did you hear Tom's explanation?
Negotiations are going great.
Oh, no. Tom, come on.
I don't know when I'm going to be able to reveal it. I'll tell you about it after. But
Did you hear Tom gave an explanation to the Irish accent?
I did hear that. That was such a great question. It's hereditary.
Yeah. His great-great-grandfather's from Ireland.
I couldn't believe it. He actually pretended his accent was hereditary.
Pretended? Didn't you hear? It's in his lineage. He was raised by his father, who was raised by his grandfather, who was raised by his great-grandfather.
I can't do a German or Dutch accent to save my life. This is not a thing that you're born with.
It's not in your bones the way it is, Tom.
It's hilarious. I couldn't believe he said that. Voltaire 325 $5. Carl, what is it like doing a show with a leftist Bill Burr apologist like Blind Mike? It's a struggle. It's a struggle, and I have to choose my words wisely because I never know when Mike's going to try to
watch it,
try to change my mind about politics.
Yes, I'm very invested. You better.
Mike's a political force out
That's
there.
right. That's right.
Hellraiser69 says, F is for fill in the blank. Yes. Can only imagine.
Daniel shuts the book real quick.
Maybe we'll buy that book and read on a bonus show. Constantine L gave us 1,000 somethings, and he says, Carl, are you going to address the fact that Meghan Markle was born in Canoga Park? You know what? Thank you for reminding me that. You might have been you might have been the one who emailed me that. Someone emailed me like, by the way, did you know that a lot of great actors are from Canoga Park?
Huh. And some just live there later in life.
Well, right. That's a good point. John wasn't from Canoga Park, but yeah, that's where Meghan was born, apparently.
Wow.
And she doesn't like being called Meghan Markle. It's very.
Don't you know?
She wants to be the same last name as her kids. All right. This is an interesting discovery. So someone was poking around on Facebook. And you know how we played last week? Dan was talking about how there was one person specifically who donates a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And we went, for the first time we're realizing that Dan is like a pay pig.
He's got a daddy.
He's got a person that donates the money. So when he's always talking about money and needs money, there's one person who just shells it out. We might have found out who this person is.
Is this the video where he berates the legend for not being in his chat today or something?
No. How funny would that be? I haven't seen Brock Lee around in a while. I don't know what's going on with that. That's hilarious. No, this is not a video.
Okay.
In fact, these are social media posts that I'm going to be showing on the screen. The first one here. So this is a woman named Tara. And Tara posted, social media is best used in moderation, but it also can be a blessing. Who would have ever thought that I'd meet so many awesome people on social media app, but I did. This is my TikTok bestie, Dan. I flew out to upstate New York 3 summers ago to meet Dan and Mandy. It was like we've known each other forever. Today is Dan's birthday. Happy birthday, my friend Dan. That was on November 29th, 2024. So in 2021, she flew out to meet Dan. There's photos of her with Dan and Dan just being a dork in his kitchen.
Okay.
Attached to this. Here's another post. Oh, I should mention, I think she's from South Carolina or Georgia.
Okay.
She flew all the way to central New York to hang out with Dan Alexander.
How could you not? It seems so exciting.
Because of TikTok. Here's a photo of them in an arcade, and it's Dan and his girlfriend and this woman who's the super fan. And what's interesting about this is in the background, you see a kid playing one of those race car games, like sitting down and playing it, and he's wearing a mask.
Nice.
That's
good.
That's sad. I feel for that kid. Here's another post that she put out. On July 11, 2023, she says, today is an important day. 5 years ago, Luna came home to live with me. 2 years ago, I got to meet and hug my TikTok bestie, Dan, his girlfriend, Mandy, and their kids. It was such a great week, and they're all family to me now. I think it might be time for another trip. And there's another photo with her and Dan.
Oh, okay.
Very excited to be together. And I have one more post down here. This is from November 23rd, 2022. And Tara posts this thing that says, everyone has a state that matches their personality. What's yours? And hers is New York. And it says, guess I'm supposed to move to New York. So Dan might have a stalker. I am telling you, this could be a problem. This could be a misery situation.
It's very odd. It's only a few posts, though, so I can't say wish, but if it was more frequent, that would be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But that is really weird because what Daniel does, I guess we live in a different world where people on TikTok have fans or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a scenario where you feel that close to someone who posts like 80-second videos at most.
Now, have I gone to Nick Fuentes' house and hung out with him? Yes, of course. Sure I have.
Well,
but I know what you mean, Mike. I mean, normally you don't think you connect with these people.
He's longer form. You feel like you really know him. You guys believe in the same stuff.
Apparently, I had a guy on WATP yesterday, this guy, Dalton, who ran into Stuttering John at our restaurant while John was on a date.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing interview because John got up to use the bathroom and drove away from his date and left her crying.
Now, here's what I'm always curious with John is because when I was listening to that, it did not sound realistic to me.
Right.
And then I reminded myself, I said, Mike, let it all play out. Because whenever John comes back, people will inevitably ask him about this.
Yep.
And John will not be able to help himself and will go, I didn't leave. I had to go because John will just confess.
I didn't even order anything. We bought some drinks at the bar. I paid for it.
So why even look into it when eventually John will just tell us what happened, basically.
Right. The reason why I bring it up is because I got notes from people saying, you don't want this guy on your show. He does this thing and that thing. I'm like, I don't know anything about this stuff. He had a fun story and he told it well. And so I was happy to have him on the show. I do have voicemails. Before we do that, Jack Sampson's coming in on supertip.gg/WATP.
Michael, Oracle of the Dabbleverse, can you predict when Stuttering John will return to the Dabbleverse?
I can't believe I'm Dutch either.
I don't bring it up very often, but I am Dutch. Mike, the Beggy Monster wants to know, when will John return?
May 26th. He's finally going to take down Carl and Shuley. Go to blindmike.net for Blind Mike, or go to whoarethese.com for Carl, and make sure you subscribe to both channels, or there will be no banter.